such a work of faith. For you must rise up early, from clear daylight till the dawn. I'm afraid you will never be able to power the rocks upon.
Tonight we have another joyous Irish celebration on tap tonight. So John's arrived. He's a little overcome here, but I told him he doesn't have to say anything tonight. We're going to do all the talking for him. So enjoy yourselves. We're going to welcome everybody here first. We got wonderful music. We got the Irish dancers. We got the City of Seattle Pipe Band. We got honors and chords from the Taoiseach down to the mayor. So John and Maureen are going to sit back and relax for a minute, God willing. So don't let him out of his chair. And we have some hors d'oeuvres or some stuff back there to eat in the back room. So you're welcome for that. And there's a little menu on the table there. And, you know, some good prices for some good beverages and some lighter fare if you like as well. So thanks everybody for coming. We're expecting another 100 people, so I'll round them all up and get them back here. So if I could have John and Maureen come forward here, please.
John and Maureen Keane. John, please come forward. Here we go. Here we are, John. Maureen, where are you? Maureen Keane.
So here's Maureen, right over here. Thank you. Okay, Ryan.
Hello, can you hear me? How about now? Can I have everyone's attention, please? There we go. All right, my name is Ryan Gallagher. I'm with the Seattle Police Pipes and Drums. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. I'm with the Seattle Police Pipes and Drums, and we established this about 3 years ago. And one of our biggest supporters throughout this entire endeavor has been John Keane, and he's. And it's been an absolute pleasure to get to know John, and he's really opened some doors for us in the band, and he cares about the band, he cares about our police department, he cares about the men and women on the streets, and that's what I appreciate about John. And John, when I talked about it, he opened up some doors for me. I went to Ireland and I got back 3 weeks ago. And while I was over there, I got to meet a lot of his family. I got to see where he grew up, and I really got to see kind of why he became the man he is today. It was an amazing experience to be with his family, and I tell you what, they can serve party in Rosemont. That's what they. I think I was up with his brother till 4 in the morning. And at the end of the night, we were at his house, and finally he just looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, lad, you got to go home." It was a good time, but John, we wanted to give you a little bit of show you a appreciation for what you've done for us, the band, and it's to make you an honorary member of the Seattle Police Pipes and Drums. We don't want you to play anything, John. But it's a badge from the Seattle Police Pipes and Drums, and on it is a date of one of our fallen officers. And so, John, we hope that you hold that dear to you. The date on that is a fallen officer that actually died in the city of Seattle. And we were just pleased and happy that you're now a new member. So we'll talk about membership dues later on.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, thanks, boys. Okay, they're going to march out here, and we got a little program set up for everybody. So thank you for coming down tonight. A few of the boys here have to report for shifts, so the timing was perfect. We appreciate that. And they had 21 sign up for the gig tonight here. Wonderful tribute, John. Thank you very much.
Reach him.
By the roll. Quick, mark.
If I could have everybody's attention, please. Thank you. So we have Father John Madigan, who is the pastor of Holy Rosaries over in West Seattle, and Fidelma McGinn, who I understand is changing her name to Murray now that we have a new mayor, and she runs the Irish Reels Festival. So Father John, you lead off.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we start into the program tonight, we'd like to ask for your attention, if we could have your attention for this time. Now, we want to really move through this program to give everybody a chance to say the things that we have planned for this evening. So we'll do our best to make it pretty swift and to go through this evening program. Now, let me say that this has to be a historic occasion in Seattle, because it's the first time in 35 years that an Irish gathering of this magnitude has been organized, and John Keane was not behind it. And just look how successful it has been. He's trained us well to carry on. And this evening, one of the things that probably is remarkable is that the secret did not get out. He did not know what tonight was about. And in fact, as his beloved sister-in-law, when giving him a little razzmatazz earlier at dinner this evening, said, "Now, what's on this evening?" And he said, "I don't know what this party is." To which she said, "But aren't you the top dog here? How come you don't know?" Well, he didn't know for the first time in the last 35 years of organizing these things. Now, this evening, in wanting to move through the program, as you have noticed earlier, there's about 52 different groups, events, whatever, over the years that John has been involved in. 52. I don't know that all of them have been represented here tonight, but a good many are. And one of the things that occurs to me about this is when I think of the fact that for John and Maureen, now you gotta let me get by with some things this evening. The fact that Mahal is the only offspring of their lives, you wouldn't be surprised that 52 things he's involved in over the years, how could he have had time for, well, whatever it is. Now, I want you also, keep remembering that Maureen has a wonderful article in the Celtic Connection about sleep. John would do well to read that article. There's some pertinent information in that article. Now, in starting in with our list of dignitaries and those who are going to speak, I'm going to do my bias part with the Church Connection. So, I'm going to call on Father William Tracy, who this evening is representing Archbishop Sorton, who sent a special message to John this evening. And as Father Tracy is not only the oldest Irish priest among us, but is the senior priest of the Archdiocese, and Archbishop Sorton asked him to represent him here this evening. Father Tracy.
Thank you, as the meeting is over to John. This is a letter from Archbishop Sarton. It says, "Dear John, I couldn't let this occasion pass without sending my own congratulations and good wishes to you as you are recognized for 35 years of extraordinary service to the Irish community. More than a volunteer, John, you're a true friend to many, cherished and admired not only for your remarkable work, preserving, promoting and supporting all things Irish, because you do so with such great love. That has been my experience of you at your parish of St. Thomas More, in your work with the Syrian Club, and in the Irish events in which I have participated. In your warm, humble nature, and earnest desire to serve others, John, you are the heart and the hands of God. While I can't be with you today, I'm happy to have this opportunity to add my thanks for you, to assure you of my prayers for joy and peace in your life, with your friends assembled, to raise at last to your good health. God bless you, John. Signed sincerely in Christ, Most Peter J. Sartain, Archbishop of Seattle. I'd like to add one personal thank you, John. During the worst times in Belfast between Catholics and Protestants, I asked Archbishop Hunthausen if we could have the St. Patrick's Day Mass in a Protestant church to show that we were open to reconciliation. And each Archbishop since then has approved of it. But I'm most grateful to John and all those who helped him to carry on that tradition. So keep it up, John, and thank you for the help you have done.
Thank you. I just ask if Reverend Barry Keating might be in the house. Did Barry arrive in yet, or is he among us? Barry, where are you? Can you make your way up so that we can do just one additional little representative of the spiritual side of our lives? Barry, are you there?
He's in the back room.
He's in the back room. Okay. All right, we will move forward until such time as we can get Barry. Fidelma.
Thank you, Father. So now we're moving from the spiritual to the political. Oh, Reverend Keating, almost Mr. Q.
Keep it clean. Well, when I saw John earlier on, he asked me which group I represented. So I decided I'd made up my own group. And I'm the Seattle Irish Presbyterian Homiletic Society. So I'm looking for any other members, any other Irish Presbyterians who like to preach. But I wanted to say just briefly, John, it's a blessing to have known you for a long time. At the time when things were particularly bad in the north, it was always somewhat of an awkward time for me, being here and being an Irish Presbyterian minister from Belfast. But I just want to say that you were incredibly generous with your time and your interest and your friendship, and that has meant a great deal to me over the years. It's been very important for me just to have that connection, not just with the Irish community, and feel very much a part of that because of you. But again, with all the troubles, as everybody's aware of, that has been a part of the North and Ireland in general, it's been a wonderful image of reconciliation that you've presented to me, and I want to thank you very much for that. And I want to wish you all the best for the next 35 years. If you'd like to be a member of the Irish Presbyterian Homiletic Society.
We're not letting you go yet, Barry. Thank you, Barry Keating. Thank you, Barry.
So John and Maureen, there's a lot of people who wanted to be with us this evening to pay tribute to you both and to be part of this great celebration. We couldn't get everybody here in person. We tried to get Aer Lingus to fly over a few dignitaries, but we do have a representative for the Irish government here, and I wonder, is Kevin, there he is, come on up Kevin, please. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet had a chance to meet Kevin Byrne, the Vice Consul from San Francisco, we're delighted that he came and he has some words from very important people.
Yeah, thanks Fidelma. Yeah, indeed, I have words from very important people, so I'll keep my own words very, very short. I just want to say one thing, and one thing that really strikes me as somebody, it's my first time up here in Seattle with the Irish community, and I'm meeting John and Maureen. You're all incredibly lucky to have John. I've only spent a day with him, but already I can see how he brought this community together. But I think one thing I'd say as well is, John and Maureen are really lucky to have all of you. You know, I'm looking at a room that goes back, this wall, and then there's another room full of people, and you're all here for John. So I think that really speaks to John, that, you know, the esteem in which you hold him. Without further ado, I'll just read a letter here I have from Ireland's ambassador to the US, Anne Anderson. She says, I'm delighted to join with the many organisations representing the broad Irish community in the Seattle and wider Washington State region, which have come together to express appreciation to John Keane for his outstanding contribution to our community over a 35-year period. John has served as Ireland's honorary consul in Seattle. He has done this with real distinction. He has assisted Irish citizens in distress, welcomed countless people to the Irish community in the Pacific Northwest, and facilitated and supported many high-level visitors, including the most successful visit of our Taoiseach, Enda Kenny. All of this has been accomplished with John's customary efficiency and enthusiasm. John's contribution is deeply appreciated by the Irish government, and especially by the embassy in Washington DC and our consulate in San Francisco, and I'll add, very much so by our consulate in San Francisco, for whom he has been a wonderful resource and colleague and friend. I had the pleasure to meet John for the first time last month when he joined us in Washington DC for the first ever meeting of Irish honorary consuls in the US with our consuls general. It is a testament to the type of person John is that he travelled across the United States on his own time and at his own expense to enrich our gathering through his energy and the sharing of his insights gained through his deep experience. I sincerely thank John for his truly exceptional contribution and service to the Irish community in the broadest sense in the northwestern part of the United States. Sincerely, Anne Anderson, Irish Ambassador. And you haven't gotten rid of me yet, because they gave me another letter to read, and one which I think is a particularly important one. It's on the Office of the Taoiseach, Office of the Prime Minister letterhead, and it starts, and I won't do my Enda Kenny impression because I'll get fired. Dear John, dear John, as Ireland's honorary consul in Seattle, you've served your country with distinction and honour. On this special evening of celebration, I want to express my own appreciation for everything that you have done for the Irish community in Washington State and beyond. During my visit to Seattle last month, I saw for myself the high esteem in which you are held. This is testament to your work with the Irish Immigrant Support Group and with the many other people and causes that you've supported over many years. I want to take the opportunity to thank your wife and your son for the tremendous support that they have given you over these years, with warmest thanks and best wishes for the future. Yours sincerely, Enda Kenny. And I might just add one further word while I'm here, because I'll be shot if I don't. The Irish community here, and all Irish communities across the United States, are here because people came from Ireland to set up a better life over here in the United States. And part of this, it's all part of a big immigration debate. The history of Ireland in the US and America in Ireland is all tied up with the idea, with this whole history of immigration. And I just want to say that Ambassador Anderson has been in Washington for 3 months, and she must be the fittest ambassador, because the amount of times she has walked up and down Capitol Hill steps to talk to congressmen, senators, Democrats and Republicans about the importance that Ireland places on finding a solution to the immigration issue and the undocumented Irish. There are some flyers floating around about an organisation here that's working with undocumented Irish and with the immigration debate here. So please take a look at that. And I know that John doesn't mind me hogging the mic to say these few words. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks very much, Kevin. Great. We have a lot of also local elected officials, John, who wanted to pay tribute to you this evening. Many of them, unfortunately, are out of the area tonight. But we are wondering if Congressman McDermott has been able to find his way into the pub. Is Olivia Robinson here? Olivia? Okay, we're going to move on, but if anybody sees Congressman McDermott, please ensure you escort him up to the top. I saw some waving. Yes? Oh, somebody is coming up. Okay. make your way up, and in the meantime, I'm going to ask a couple of other people to prepare. We have Mike Peters representing the mayor's offices here. So why don't we start with Mr. Peters, who's going to make his way up to the microphone. Mike is director of the Intergovernmental Relations Department here in the city of Seattle and representing Mayor McGinn, who couldn't be here this evening.
Thank you very much. I'm absolutely delighted to be here tonight, as are you, to celebrate somebody unfortunately I've only known for 2 years, but those 2 years have been absolutely wonderful working with John. As the International Programs Director for the city, I get to work with John with the Seattle-Galway Sister City Association, and also helping when we have visits from dignitaries. It's been a real pleasure to work with you, John. And I told John earlier, I hope you all understand this, this is not a retirement party, this is not a going away party. John is committed for the next 35 years already, so. Tonight, we have a fairly lengthy recognition here for John. I'm not going to read all of it, but I would like to read a few parts, things that I think will resonate with you. Whereas John Keane has been continuously involved as an officer and active member of every Irish organization in the Seattle area since his arrival in Seattle in 1978. And whereas John was appointed Honorary Consul of Ireland in Seattle in 2010, a role that he had voluntarily been performing for decades, and where John organized a number of trade delegations to Ireland that has included governors of Washington State and other elected officials, along with business, academic, and cultural leaders. And whereas John's public service also includes serving on the board of directors for the Matt Talbot Center, a treatment center for the addicted and homeless in downtown Seattle. And whereas John has helped establish a strong Irish community in Seattle and Washington State, and is widely considered the glue that brings and holds it all together. And whereas John connects with people from all walks of life, whether up or down on their luck, and treats everyone with the same respect and dignity, is generous, is kind, and understated, and is the go-to person in the Irish community whenever people need help. Whereas John is one of the most highly regarded community leaders in the Seattle area, and is loved, respected, and adored by the Seattle Irish. Now therefore I, Mike McGinn, Mayor of the City of Seattle, do hereby recognize that on this day, Saturday, December 7th, 2013, Mr. John Keane, Honorary Consul of Ireland in Seattle, is awarded the title of Cultural Ambassador to Seattle. And I would like just to say one more thing too. This award I've not had the pleasure of giving out before in my tenure with the city. This is Seattle's Distinguished Citizen Medallion, effectively the keys to the city.
We're going to go karting in the city. He's got the keys to doors. Wow.
What doors does that get us in tonight, John? Where the fine party?
I was wondering the same thing, Father. We're literally getting maybe a Skype call from Congressman McDermott, so hold on tight, we'll see if the technology will work. But in the meantime, not to go amiss, the county also wanted to recognize you, and unfortunately our county executive, Dow Constantine, could not be here himself in person, but he did send a proclamation. And as you hear with proclamations, there's a lot of whereas this, whereas that. Anyway, I want to just point out one thing in particular, John, that he cites, that whereas over the years, John has taken the time to help many individuals, whether making visits to nursing homes or hospitals, or using his connections to help people find a job, connect with their heritage, or build friendships in the community. That's not me, Dow Constantine, Executive of King County, do hereby proclaim December 7th, 2013 as John Keane Day. You can read here, but on behalf of Dow Constantine, John, congratulations. And over to you, Father.
Gosh, if we knew that all day, we could have celebrated all day. John Keane Day. Were you buying the drinks today? All righty. We want to move now to the personal tributes, as we move from the church ones and the political ones. Moving to the personal will bring us to John Costello and Finian Rowland, who is responsible for starting this ball rolling last year. Finian was the first one to take a step and to say to many of us, we gotta honor John Keane for all he has done. So John Costello and Finian, if you're coming up too.
We'll bring the microphone to you. Why don't you sit here? All right.
I only want to say, John, because the emotions, if I recall anything he did, would overpower me. And I'm not able to do that, and I don't want to destroy the body. John did things none of you saw as much as I saw. But above all, I thank his wife for sharing him with us. Thank you. God bless you, John. Rosalia Lynch and Rosemary Simmons. Them two ladies, gave them the ball to roll, and they rolled it.
John, you and I go back quite a long way, maybe 35 years, is that right? And we've done a lot of things together. We've had some highlights and some things that weren't quite so high. Here and there. We played golf, but I beat him once, so he won't play with me anymore. And anyway, we went to Galway and we established the memorial stone of the twinning of the two cities. Came back and did it here in Seattle. So down the waterfront, there's also a stone there. And John and I were discussing how are we going to finance this beautiful big stone with all, memorializing the twinning of the city. So we come up with the idea we'd sell a line. And years later, we went over with Archbishop Murphy, and I had gone to an auction and I bought the first line. Anyway, Archbishop Murphy said, how come I'm second? And I said, well, you didn't bid high enough. But anyway, John, it's been such a pleasure. You and Maureen, you've done so much for the Irish community here. You've made us very, very proud of being Irish. And just continue with this great work. I found something in my archives and was able to develop that poster out there. I think of the 51 or 52 things that you've done or been associated with either now or in the past. And it's amazing just to look at that. John, again, congratulations. Thank you for all you've done. Maureen, we couldn't have done anything without you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Followed up with the tribute from the Irish Network, Seattle, Noreen McCormack.
Tonight, and I just want to congratulate John on behalf of the Irish Network. So about 5 years ago, the Irish government decided that they wanted to have business networks, Irish business networks, in every major city throughout the United States and throughout the world. And John immediately got a network started, put a group together, and today we have over 100 members, many of that are here tonight, and there's 50 networks around the country. By next year around the United States. By next year there'll be 30, and the national meeting is going to be right here in Seattle, and it's all because of John. Organizing that he does and how he takes action right away. And Rosemary Fitzsimon is our president. But speaking of networking, the quintessential networker is John Keane, and he will connect everyone, the old and the young alike. He's introduced all of us to many people here in this room, and we are so fortunate to have him. We're so lucky, and we love John Keane and Maureen very much. Thank you, John.
Take it in, John, take it in, because there's enough criticism in life. Just serve it in while we give it to you. All right. Put down the...
Coming up already halfway through, folks, so bear with us. An organization that John has been associated with for all the years that he's been here in Seattle is the Irish Heritage Club. Any members of the IHC here? John has done so much in friendship and in support with all of the members of the IHC. He has served as treasurer, past president, multiple roles. And we wanted to have the current president of IHC say a few words on behalf of the membership. So Justin McMahon, can you join us?
Thank you, John. Thank you for everything that you've done for our community. I'm a community organizer by trade, which means I'm employed some of the time. But when I first met John Keane, I got an email after I joined the Irish Heritage Club, and the 2 days after that, before I even got my card in the mail, I got an email from John Keane saying, "Are you the same Justin McMahon that works for where I was working at the time?" I was like, wow, the Irish do their homework. This was good, but it wasn't just that we had done their homework, but it's that, John, you are a phenomenal organizer, and you care so much about our community, and I, without a doubt, you might be the most dedicated organizer I've ever met. It's true. And the number of people in this room tonight is testimony to that. I was going to share the same sentiments as Father Madigan. It was really hard to keep this a secret from John Keane. And I was tasked with the responsibility of sending the emails out from the Irish Heritage Club without him knowing. And so there were a couple of nights when Rosemary would text me or call me, and she'd say, "Well, we gotta get that email out." I said, "You don't understand. If John is on that listserv and I'm crafting an email, the whole thing is blown, and he is almost always working." So it was difficult. I'm really glad that we got to surprise you. So the last thing I'll say before I hand it off is I want to thank you for your leadership, not just in this community, but for me personally. I know that you've played a huge role in my life as a mentor. And I just want to take the opportunity to heartfelt and fully thank you. I've got a lot of stories, but that's it. I think there's a lot of people in this room that see you as a mentor too. So thank you very much, and I'll stop talking now. But thank you, guys. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Justin. Moving things along, we have a representative, founder and director of the Irish Reels Film Festival, Caroline Cumming from County Leitrim.
Thank you. And actually, Delma is the co-founder of the Irish Reels Film Festival. Thank you, John, for everything you have done for Irish film in Seattle. 16 years ago, we started the film festival, and we started talking to people about bringing films, Irish films, to Seattle. And the first thing we heard was, well, you need to talk to John Keane. And so we went to talk to John Keane, and right away he was on board. He came first of all, and he said, with cash. Not a lot of cash, but enough cash to cause trouble, to make us actually believe we could do something. And then we got started, and we got our program together, and we got some films coming over. And then he was there again to open doors for sponsorship, for partners, for people who could support the festival. Once we had it together and we had a program, he was there again with outreach to the community through the Irish Heritage Club newsletter. He's been with us every year since, for the last 16 years, constantly supporting us in our work. There have been times he's left the film theater scratching his head going, what was that? And there's been times when we've talked about the stories that we see that are not the Ireland that John knew. And John, I have to say that now there are stories that are not the Ireland that I knew, and that's probably the same for a lot of people here. But the one thing that we know, even with all of the changes that we've seen in Ireland over the years, is that every generation has a great way of knowing what a good story is and how to tell a good story. And those are the stories that resonate with all of us, young and old. And those are the stories that connect us. Thank you, John, for everything you have done to bring Irish films and Irish filmmakers to Seattle. The Irish Reels Film Festival is a huge opportunity for Irish filmmakers who have not had their work shown outside of Ireland. We bring the films here because they can be seen by US audiences and because they can get picked up for distribution. That's why we do the work. And John has always been a huge advocate for that and continues to support us. Thank you so much.
In his time here in Seattle, John Keane has always been associated with the O'Malley. There's always been a connection. And so at this time, John O'Malley, John, if you'll come on up to the microphone to help with your tribute this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. It's a bit like a week here without the coffin. I was supposed to say a couple of words. I said keep it short, so. Now, here's what I have to say about John. Hardy man. I just want to introduce Mary Charles from the Irish Heritage Club. She has a presentation here for John and Maureen.
It does look like a casket.
No, it's too small for that. Good.
John has been very active. John has been very active with the parade, as you all will know, and I don't know how many years that goes back, but he has never been the Grand Marshal as far as I know. So we thought we'd do a little correction on that. I don't know whether I thought John was going to do something to carry it on, but anyway, open the box.
From which side?
There, this way. John, I didn't know where you'd gone to.
So, there's going to be a special presentation of lifetime honorary Grand Marshals for the parade. From now on, they are not here. Don't lose them before the upcoming parades. Make sure you know where you put them. There we go. Congratulations. Lifetime honorary Grand Marshals. Alrighty. Yep, we leave it on. Leave it on. No sense taking it off now. Just take it off for a little bit. Alrighty.
These are adjustable.
Really good. Okay, next on our list is Brendan Boyle of Cure Cascadia. Brendan, are you, do I get it correctly? Where's Brendan? Alrighty, coming right up. Brendan.
John, on behalf of Randall Bays and Carol Cascadia. Carol Cascadia is a new Irish traditional music organisation with the goal of staging a traditional music Irish camp in Camp Casey every summer. We had the first camp this summer and had great success, but thanks to you, John, we're able to join with the Irish Heritage Club and gain the benefits of all the structure that you had put together over the years. And it helped us have a great success this year, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, there it is. It's been quite a few years since John Keane and I played Gaelic football together, and with Danny Quinn. Let me tell you, there were some rough, tough players, John Keane and Danny Quinn. But over the years, John has continued to be supportive of the Seattle Gales, and this evening, Brian White from the Seattle Gales will come to make his presentation. Brian.
Well, I know there's been a lot said about John this evening and all of the remarkable accomplishments that John has had in the community, from the parade and the Irish Heritage Club. But we all know the most important thing that John has contributed to the community is growing Irish sports, because that's where it really all started. So, as the chairman of the Seattle Gales, I'm extremely honored to present John with a special award that we've created for him. And this is to John. This is in grateful appreciation to your 35 years of dedication to Irish sports in Seattle. So thank you very much. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. We also decided that because John has been such a remarkable person with regard to growing our sports, when John and Danny Quinn and Father Madigan and Frank Schrin and so many others started the Seattle Gales back in 1979, it was a football club. And football has happened in Seattle really since the 1920s, but really it came about in the late 70s when John and the others did. But now we have a club that is both Gaelic. It's Gaelic football, men's and women's Gaelic football. We have hurling. We have a camogie club. And just this past year, back in Cleveland in the Nationals, our teams took 3 of the 5 Shield Awards, and a lot of that has to do with the great dedication that John and many of the others gave over the years. So the Seattle Gales have decided to bestow a perpetual award, and this is the John F. Keane Award. It's going to recognize every year, starting in 2014, an individual member of the Gales for her or his outstanding contributions, leadership, and achievements in service to the club. And this is going to be a perpetual award from now on for the Seattle Gales. And thank you very much.
John, I know you were good at football, but I never thought you were that good. But however, we will celebrate. Now, Dave Jacobson and Teresa Hartnett, are you ready to come forward for just a couple of more events? We're almost finished. Just special presentation, Dave
And before we move to kind of almost the penultimate part of the evening, I wanted to emphasize that tonight, when we came in, we had the lovely Guinness glasses. So thanks to Mick McHugh and his staff. If you haven't had a chance yet to purchase your own glass, which can be customized and engraved with your family heirloom on it, they are $10. And we have a set, Maureen, for you and John to have a drink together later this evening. And I wanted to especially thank Mick for organising the event here tonight. Man behind the scenes, so thank you. We also had wonderful musicians earlier on, Caroline here on Amandi and all the musicians, thank you so much. We'll have a little more music afterwards, but we wanted to mention those. And then also the dancers from Ballia Glass. And thanks equally to all of our sponsors, Tullamore Dew, Guinness, and Kerrygold Cheese for providing all the things, and Magnet Cider for their happy hour drinks. I wanted to get all of that out of the way. And Jemison, we also have Zemison at special drinks, happy hours, things too. But the finale of the program is worth waiting for. So a minute, if you would just hold your chatter for just a second, folks. A very important part of the proceedings tonight is, yes, recognizing John has done all of this very wonderful work in our community, tirelessly, steadfastly, volunteeringly. Has never been compensated by anybody from any organization that he's been involved with. He's done it because he's such a huge heart. He cares deeply about this community. He cares deeply about the connection to his heritage and our heritage. And so we wanted to have a fun evening, but we also wanted to do a little fund development. And so tonight we have something to present to John, and David Jacobson is going to say a few words.
Thank you. I know everybody's been very patient here. I'll try to make it quickly. Finney and Roland, you can help me hand this. We made a personal check out here for John Keane with all the proceeds and stuff that we gathered here. And it says the Honourable Consul of Ireland, John F. Keane. $14,500 was raised on behalf of all the different networks of the club, on behalf of all the Irish community, for all you have given to promote the Irish culture and the people. Thank you very much. So this is for you and Maureen for all your hard work.
I've seen him in action. Like, he visited the poor, the homeless, everything. He visited the prisons, the hospitals, you name it, John Keane did it. I saw that.
Thank you, Finian. So John and Maureen, over 175 people have contributed to this token of our appreciation. And I wanted to know, for those procrastinators who didn't get a chance, the bank account is still open till the end of the year, so you can still make your contribution. And we want to bring Maureen and Rosemary up. I think Rosemary. We also have a little bit of cock-a-millish, I think, on the way. A party wouldn't be a party without a little bit of cake. But if you could also get your glasses ready. For those of you who have an empty glass, tip it up. And I don't know, do John and Maureen have a glass? Wonder could we get a little glass of something for our honorary guest tonight? A little whiskey, I bet. An Irish coffee. If we could get 2 Irish coffees for you.
I just want to take a moment just to thank everybody. Usually it takes, John Keane could organise this by himself, but it took a large committee. John, it took about 35 of us to organise this event tonight. And so I just want to thank everybody who made tonight possible. There's a lot of outreach, a lot of connections, and John, the community really came together, and I know this is something that you have always kind of told us that we should all get together, and I think we've done that tonight. So thank you, John, for everything you've done. So we'll just wait a second to have a toast to John. Yeah, just a cake.
Along with the presentation of flowers to Maureen, there's a special cake, as Fidelma said, cock-a-millish, a sweet cake. So celebrating 35 years, Good Mona Margaret to John and Maureen. So there'll be a cake to cut in just a little bit. Congratulations to you both. Congratulations. And from Borrachini's, cakes mostly from Borrachini's. Yes, there we go. So we'll have a glass to raise once the John and Maureen get a little Irish coffee. We'll all raise a glass together. It's on the way.
It's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy.
Okay, while we're waiting for the Irish copies. We'll just invite John to say a few words just in a response to this evening.
I honestly don't know what to say. I just... wow, that's new. Yeah, it is new. It is new. I usually don't have problems speaking. I mean, people know the biggest problem is telling me to shut up. But I'm flabbergasted. You know, when I walked in, I was kind of weak-kneed, and because this is not what I was expecting tonight. I was expecting a party, but you know, did I ever get one? And then all the nice things that were said, you know, I don't know, Maureen, I hope you know now you were married to a saint. Peter Johnson says, well, it's better to have a party when you're alive than after you're gone. So I do very much, I am absolutely overwhelmed by this. And, you know, the number of people who are here, I just can't believe it. I don't know where you all came from. But you have anything to do on a Saturday night. You know? But you know, from myself and Maureen, from the depths of our souls, we do very much appreciate this, and I'm extremely touched and honoured that you know, think so highly of us to come down this evening, and for, you know, your generosity and all the kind thoughts and nice wishes, and the people who were involved in helping organise things, and my brother and his wife who came out for Thanksgiving, which happened. So it just happened to stay on. But and Finian, you know, Finian is somebody who kept the flag flying for the last 70 years, not just 35 years. Right. You know, he's been here since 1950. Yeah. An awful lot of people like him who are involved in the Irish community, and I know I probably have a louder voice than a lot of people, and that's why I get a lot of the credit and so on. But there are an awful lot of people, great people, who are very involved in organising things in the Irish community. And thank you for, you know, what you do, and Rosemary and Fidelma and Noreen, and I'm going to start, you know, causing problems now if I keep mentioning names, because I know I'm going to miss Father John Madigan. Father John, did I say Father John Madigan? Congratulations, John. It's time to toast him, so if you would raise the glass, now that he has an Irish copy, to John and Maureen Keane, in gratitude for their years of service. Congratulations. Here they are. Thank you all for coming and taking part this evening. What a wonderful celebration. Continue until what time in the morning, Mick, are you open? 2 a.m. Till 2 a.m., Mick says we can party on. Thank you, thank you. But the music will be back shortly to continue the entertainment, and the cake will be cut. Thank you, everybody.